Hey there, welcome back to my channel. My name is Maureen and this is Adex Crochets. So today's tutorial is about this amazing crochet mesh top or fishnet top or mesh sleeves, anything you'd like to call it. So if you're new here, the best way to support me is to like this video, comment on it, and subscribe to my channel for more amazing crochet videos. So you can put this top on as a throw on or buy it soft the way it is. Before we get started, allow me to thank you for the love you have shown me on my previous fishnet sleeves that I made a while ago. Yeah, so let's get started. We are going to begin by making the back panel. You can see the back panel is more like a square for me. And then we shall be making the front panel, okay? This is the front panel, same measurements, only that the design on top differs just a little bit. As you can see, this is what will be coming on top here, and then after you'll get our long pretty long sleeves, you see, and you're gonna need two of these sleeves and they're going to be identical. This is what you will be folding into two. Okay, you need two of these, as you can see, and they're identical, so fold that into two. I don't know, so you fold it and this will be coming here. Do the same to the other sleeve and attach it here, and after that our top will be completely done. We are going to start by making the front and the back panel. So the front and the back panel both start the same way, exactly the same way. Okay, so I start off by making a chain of 4 plus we chain in multiples of 4 plus 3 at the end. Okay, so I made a chain of 67 for the back panel. Okay, and I also made a chain of 67 for the front panel. Chain 67 for the front panel, chain 67 for the back panel. So we start in the same way for both the front and the back panel. So you're going to start by making a slip knot. Just make a slip knot the best way you know how to. And then after, you're going to make a chain. We are going to chain, like I said, in multiples of 4 plus 4 plus 4 until you come up with your desired length. And then when you're done, you're going to add 3 as a turning chain. Okay, so chain in multiples of 4 plus 3, and I made a chain of 67 stitches, and this gave me 19 inches wide. Or you can just place this chain you have made. It has to be running from one shoulder to the other shoulder. Okay, so I'm gonna count of 10 stitches. Okay, count of 10 stitches and go into the 11th stitch. Yarn with that treble crochet, of course. So yarn over twice and go into this treble crochet stitch here. Sorry, go into that 11th chain with a treble crochet stitch. And this is how we make our treble crochet stitch. Okay, that this counts as our treble crochet and chain 3. Okay, chain 3, skip 3. So after, you're gonna make a chain of 3 again, 1 2 and 3, and skip the next 3 stitches. So yarn over twice, skip the next 3 stitches and go into the 4th stitch with a treble crochet. So pull up a loop. You have 4 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, 3 loops on your hook, and over, pull through 2, and over, pull through 2. Okay, so chain 3 again, yarn over twice, skip the next 3 stitches, go into the 4th stitch here, and again place a treble crochet, and that's the pattern you're going to be repeating until the end of the chain. Okay, just continue repeating this up to the end of the chain. You can see now we have 4 stitches left. Okay, so we're going to make a chain of 3 like we've been doing, and yarn over twice, skip the next 3 stitches and go into the 4th stitch. And for this case, the 4th stitch is the exact last stitch on our chain. Okay, so this is the end of row 1, and end of row 1 we have 15 boxes. So this is the end of row 1, and remember we started off with a chain which was measuring 19 inches. Now it's measuring 14 inches, and this is going to keep reducing up to 13 inches. That is if you started off with my chain number. So for row 2, you're going to make a chain of 7, but you can start by making a chain of 4, turn, make a chain of 3. So this counts as a treble crochet and a chain 3. Okay, so go into that next chain 3 space, that very first chain 3 space, with a treble crochet. Chain 3 again. Go into the next chain 3 space with a treble crochet. So you're going to repeat this up to the end of row 2. Just chain 3, treble crochet into the chain 3 space. Okay, just repeat this up to the end of row 2. So I hope you have something that looks like this. You're remaining with only one space to work into. Okay, so chain 3 and you end off your row by by inserting a treble crochet into that space that we had left, that chain 3 space, the last chain 3 space. So this is the end of row 2, and for row 3 you're going to repeat the same thing, the exact same thing. And as I said, we started off with 15 boxes. They have to be 15 boxes for row 2. So row 3, repeat row 2, just chain 4. Okay, chain 4, turn, chain 3, or you can just simply chain 7 at a go. But if you do this and you're a beginner, it's gonna help you understand what you're doing. That the chain 4 is a treble crochet, chain 3 is the space we are leaving, and then treble crochet in that first chain 3 space. Okay, so proceed with this same technique or same pattern until your mesh, let's say the back mesh is measuring the length that you desire. If you're not yet so familiar with the pattern, keep rewatching row 2 and make up number of rows that are enough for your back panel. Okay, so this is my back panel, and you can see 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 and 11. I made 11 rows for my back panel. Okay, and this is measuring, but you can go ahead and increase yours if you want it longer. And this is measuring 10 inches, 10 and a half actually, but it can stretch up to 11 inches. Okay, and in width, I told you it's gonna decrease, and it's measuring around 13, but it can really stretch, so you don't need to mind about that because it can stretch in length and in width. For the front panel, this is how it's going to look like, just a little bit different from the back panel. And these are 8 rows, so remember the other one is 11 rows, the back panel. The front panel I made 11 rows. You start the exact same way you started the back panel, chain 67, go on with your work for 8 rows, and 8 rows are about 7 inches. Okay, so for 7 inches, repeat the same thing as the back panel, and then we shall be working on our neckline. So for the neckline, since we need to be having 11 rows, we are simply going to add on 3 more rows until our work is measuring the same as the back panel, and that is 10 or 10 and a half inches. I hope that makes sense. And in case you don't understand anything, please feel free to comment, put your query in the comment section. I'll get back to you. So I assume you have your 8 rows, or you have worked up until you have your 7 inches. So we are going to add on the other 3 inches. How do we do that? By making a neckline. You're going to chain 4 like you've been doing, or chain 7 at once. Because you are chaining 4, then chain 3, but you can chain 7, turn your work. This is row 9, go into that next chain 3 space with a treble crochet, chain 3 again, go into the next chain 3 space with another treble crochet, chain 3 again. See, these are 2 boxes, we need 3 boxes. So chain 3, yarn over twice, go into that next chain 3 space with another treble crochet, So now we have 3 boxes on the left, okay, 3 boxes on the right. So we are working on the right now. So since there are already 3 boxes, this is row 9, remember, we are going to simply make a chain of 7 again. You can see we are working on this here. So make a chain of 7 for row 10, okay, make a chain of 7. This is row 10 we are working on right now, and then turn your work. After turning your work, repeat the same procedure. Go into that very first chain 3 space with a treble crochet. Go into the next chain 3, go into the next chain 3 space with another treble crochet, chain 3 again, and go into the next chain 3 space with another treble crochet. So this is the last treble crochet we are placing for row 10, and row 11 you're going to repeat row 10, okay, chain 7, okay. I'm used to chaining 4 then chain 3, but you can do it at once, chain 7 at once, and just repeat row 10. Since this is our 11th row, we have finished it. We are going to make a chain of 1, and then we can cut off our yarn from here. Pull out your yarn and tighten it off like that. So I hope you have something that looks like this for the front panel, okay. So you're gonna come, it looks just the same number of boxes, must be measuring the same. So go onto the left side of our work, and since we need to be working into 4 stitches, sorry, into 3 boxes, you're gonna come here, okay, count 4 treble crochets and go in from the left and go into that treble crochet, attach your yarn, and after attaching your yarn you're going to make a chain of 7, okay. First attach your yarn. I've not yet attached mine. Attach it, make sure it's safe and in place, and then after you're going to make a chain of 7 and just continue repeating the same thing you have done on the right side, okay, since we need 3 boxes for 3 rows. That's row 9, 10 and 11. Like I said, just repeat the same procedure you did on the other side onto this side until you have something that looks as cute as this. So now we have the front panel, we have the back panel too, and this is how it's going to look like. Okay, the front panel has to be on top of the other like that. And since you're done making that, the next part is for the sleeves. For the sleeves we make a chain of 57. So for a chain of 57, that's going to be measuring almost 18 inches, but when you start working it's going to decrease up to 11 inches. And I made I made 23 rows for my work. Another thing you need to know is that you can simply make a chain and measure it around your arm to make sure that it fits, and then also measure the length on your arm to make sure that it fits. My sleeves, you can see they are 23 inches long and 11 inches wide. So make yours as long as you want them to be and as wide as you want them to be. Like I told you, do not forget to chain in multiples of 4 and then add 3 at the end. And for this we are having 13 boxes, not 15 boxes like we had for the front and the back panel. You will need 2 sleeves that are identical, so one for the left sleeve and one is going to be the right sleeve. Okay, so this is what you should be having. And then I need to stop saying okay all the time. My sis says it sucks, but I'm gonna really stop saying that. So the next thing we're going to be joining, and our joining is gonna be so easy this time. Remember, we want to maintain the mesh stitch that we have, so we don't want it like all together at once, I should say. So from this treble crochet, count 3 onwards, 1, 2 and 3. So go into that 4th stitch, attach your yarn. After attaching your yarn, you're going to make a chain of 3. Okay, so I'm still attaching my yarn. Make a chain of 3. 1, okay, 2 and 3. So after that, I'm going to come to the back panel, you can see here, and I'm going to count the same with this. From this treble crochet, count 3 backwards and go into the 4th stitch. So this is like the corner of our top, okay, the top right corner, top, or the top left, yeah, top right corner. So after that, chain 3, come into this next treble crochet stitch on our front panel with a slip stitch, chain 3 again, go to the back, find that next treble crochet, we worked into that, so go into this next one here with a slip stitch again, chain 3 again, 1, 2 and 3, come into this next treble crochet with a slip stitch, of course, chain 3 and go into the next here, next treble crochet stitch with a slip stitch and chain 3, come to the front. So this is our last stitch on the front, so we stop joining here, slip stitch, okay, make a chain of 1. You can see the pattern how it's coming out. Someone cannot easily identify where we join it from, so make a chain, cut your yarn. After pulling out your yarn, so you're completely done joining this side, okay, you can see the zigzag format. Keep note of it because we shall be joining the sleeves there and they will be so important. So another thing you're going to do is you're going to come to the other side of the top and we are going to be joining, okay. Don't mind about the excess yarn, we shall be working on that later. So just make sure that the stitches are aligning. So first, those are 2, 3 and 4, okay. Since we're joining off 3 boxes, so we are going to be working with 4 treble crochets. This is the 4th treble crochet on the back, so we shall be joining there, and 1, 2, 3, 4, this is the 4th on the front. So just attach a yarn and join, okay, like I've joined on the other side. So after, you're going to be having something that looks like this. This is our neck hole in the middle, and the next thing we're going to do is you're going to join the sides. So what you're going to do is you're going to fold your sleeves into a half and you're going to place it against your body like this, okay. So this helps you find like how much you need to leave out for the armhole, because that's where you'll be attaching your sleeves. So I'm going to be counting off 5 boxes from below, aiming upwards according to my measurements, the measurements I've done. So these are 5 boxes. This is what I'm going to be joining together, okay. And let me just attach my hook so that we don't get lost from here. Another thing you need to understand, let me first, you see I'm going to be joining off 4 inches and I'm leaving out 6 inches unjoined as the armhole. So if you have something like this, just measure according to your own measurements and join together. And another thing, please don't freak out, I'm left-handed crocheter, and whenever I'm making these videos I actually have to flip my videos, but when I'm measuring in inches, like I can't flip that video where I'm measuring because then the inches will also flip and then it will give you hard time to read. That's why I only flip the part where I'm showing you how to crochet this stuff. So you are going to make a chain of 3, okay. Remember we counted off 5. Come on top of this stitch with a slip stitch. Remember the same way we joined together our top left and top right stuff, top left and top right. That's the same way we are going to be joining the sides. Okay, so chain 3, come to the back, slip stitch into the next stitch. Don't slip stitch anywhere in the space, okay? Make sure you're slip stitching in the stitches. So chain 3, come to the front, go to the next stitch and slip stitch. Chain 3, come to the back, find the next stitch, slip stitch there, and I'm going to repeat this up to the end of, up to the down side of the top. So into the last box, you're gonna count off 3, go into the 4th stitch with a slip stitch, make a chain of 3 and come to the front, count of 3 stitches, 1 2 3, go into the 4th with a slip stitch. Okay, so we are done joining the sides. Make a chain of 1 and cut your yarn, pull out the loop. So at this point you should be having something that looks like this, okay? I'm going to be repeating the same thing onto this side too, and then our sides will be done. We are done joining the sides, and this is the body of our mesh top. This is how it looks like. So we shall be joining our sleeves around here, but first we need to join the sleeves themselves, okay? And how do we do that? I've already shown you how to join. So just fold your sleeves into a half or into 2 like this. There's no right or wrong side here, trust me. So after that, you're going to use the same method, the zigzag method we have used on the sides of our, to join the back and the front panel in the sides. You're going to use that same method to join the sleeve together, okay? Just attach your yarn and join your sleeves. And this is going to be for both the sleeves. I'm done joining both the left and right sleeves, and this is what we have. Same design, same method, nothing changes, okay? You can see the zigzag over there. That's where I join my sleeve. But if someone doesn't pay a lot of attention, they cannot find where we join the work from. So this is what you have, and now we are going to be attaching those sleeves onto this body. So this is how you're going to attach your sleeves. You're going to come, identify the part where you join the work together. See the zigzag there? This has to be corresponding with the zigzags on the body, okay? So insert your sleeve inside the top like this, and make sure you arrange it to fit the whole armhole, okay, like this. So you should be having something that looks like this now before you begin joining, okay? So if it looks like this, you're going to make sure that you identify the zigzag, because the zigzag on the sleeves has to be in the same line, alternating with the zigzag on the body. That's how we start our joining process. See, the zigzag is here, started from this stitch, okay, come that stitch, and they both ended here, okay? So this has to be corresponding. After that, you can simply use, we are going to be using the same method to join our sleeve, the same way we've been joining the body and then the top of the mesh top. See, so make sure that the stitches on the left are the stitches on the sleeves are corresponding with the stitches on the body, okay? Because you have to chain 3, then slip stitch into those stitches. So I'll start off here. This is like where we put our zigzag here, not at the exact start, but rather at the other end, and I'm going to attach my yarn there. Just attach your yarn the best way you know how to. Now make a chain of 3, 1 2 and 3. Come here, see, identify the zigzag is there, so go on top of this stitch here, the corresponding stitch, of course, with a slip stitch. So now make a chain of 3, After making a chain of 3, come again to the body, because remember the sleeve was in the inside. So after that you're going to skip these stitches here, but you can see there is a stitch over here. Go into that with a slip stitch. Make a chain of 3. So 1, 2 and 3. Go to the sleeve on the inside, and you're gonna come into this next stitch over here. You see we worked into that stitch, so go into this stitch here with a slip stitch, of course. So make a chain of 3. 1, 2, 3. Come here. Since we worked into that stitch, don't go into it, but rather go into the next stitch. Chain 3 again. Go into the stitch on the inside sleeve here, slip stitch first, then make a chain of 3. Go to the stitch on the body and slip stitch again, chain 3. Go to the next stitch on the sleeve. Okay, so I'm going to repeat this method all around the sleeve. So I'm coming towards the end. I've worked all around the sleeve. So we have a stitch to work into here, chain 3 again. We work into this last stitch, because this is the last, because when you slip stitch here, we won't be having another stitch to slip stitch into on the body. So you can now chain 1 and cut your yarn. So we are done joining the first sleeve to our top. So when you turn it wrong side up, right side up, you can see the zigzag is not so clear. Like, it's quite hard for someone to find out where we join our sleeves from, and that's what we are aiming for. And now we are going to repeat the same method onto the other side also. We are going to attach the other sleeve the exact same way. And like I told you, when you are attaching your sleeve, make sure that the sleeve is on the inside, and then start stitching the sleeve together. Okay, the sleeve has to be on the inside. Now grab this, identify your zigzag, and come here, make sure it's in line with the zigzag of the body, and simply start joining your work. So this is what I've come up with, and when you turn it right side up, you're going to be having something that looks like this. Okay, so I do hope you have something that looks like this actually, and the only thing remaining for us is to weave in the ends and cut off the excess yarn. So in the materials I mentioned the darning needle. This is where a darning needle comes in from to weave in the ends. You might also need a pair of scissors or whatever you can use to cut off your yarn, and you'll be done making your crochet fishnet top.